Hey, welcome to Project Passion, where the aim of the game is to talk to people that are extremely passionate about what they do. And I am Prateek Suri. And today we are here to talk about a prime example of the 1971 Triumph Spitfire Mark IV, one of the three known to exist in the country today.
Through time, us humans have a deep correlation between being able to go fast and a sense of freedom. And this is a perfect sense of freedom for me when I drive this car.
I am Gyan Sharma.
I am Prem.
This business was started by our grandfather who used to work for Allied Motors, and he was one of the best mechanics for the Rolls and Bentleys. So after leaving that job in 1936, in 1938 he opened this. उनके अंडर मुझे काम करने का बड़ा सौभाग्य मिला क्योंकि मैं स्कूल से आके सीधे यहीं लग जाता था. I don't know, I will not call passion because that time I was a kid, but I still like this and it was my liking. Instead of books I used to come here
and he used to get opportunity to work because Dada used to call him आजा भाई
as a helper or maybe anything.
चलो शुरू हो जाओ.
एक मर्तबा
ये पकड़ लो.
कोई उनको औजार पकड़ा रहा था, मैं तो गलत तरीके से पकड़ा दिया.
उन्होंने शट से मारा. आज तक वो निशान जो है याद दिलाता है कि जी दिस वेंट रॉन्ग.
जो रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं वो बड़े स्ट्रिक्ट हैं और उसी की बदौलत आज हम खड़े हुए हैं और उनका नाम हम चला रहे हैं. दादाजी ने काम शुरू किया, पिताजी थे, अब हम दोनों भाई हैं. छोटे भाई ने तो सीए छोड़ के और फिर यहाँ लगे, साथ में एक और 11 हैं हम. और हमारा बेटा है जो वो भी ऑटोमोबाइल इंजीनियर है. वेल आई वुड से अ मोबिल ऑयल runs in our blood instead of blood.
We had quite a lot of vintage and classic cars, but Triumph Spitfire is my favorite. In fact, our family's favorite. Even the kids love it, and we will keep it forever. It was parked inside. Gate पे थोड़ा सा दिख रहा था कोई गाड़ी खड़ी हुई है, but we could just make out it is some kind of sports car. We had a glimpse, but ये था कि अगर मिल गई तो लेनी है. I told my dad later कि he told me to come at 2 tomorrow. So we were so thrilled. Next day, usual.
In fact, dad was more thrilled. वो जब गाड़ी लेने गए तो he kept everything in his car, बैटरी, पेट्रोल सब रख के ले गए. खाली गाड़ी का सौदा करने नहीं, ये छोड़ के नहीं आऊँगा मैं.
डैड ने मेरे ख्याल से 10 या 15 मिनट लगाए होंगे. 15 मिनट में हमने वो गाड़ी, चाहे जब तक आती गाड़ी स्टार्ट थी. आई ड्रोव द मारुति एंड डैड ड्रोव द ट्रायम्फ टू द गैराज. वो गाड़ी कितनी लेयर पेंट की थी उस गाड़ी पे, सारी एक के बाद एक. जब हमने स्क्रैप किया एक के बाद एक उतरता रहा. कभी येलो आए, कभी वाइट आए, कभी रेड आए.
पापा का पसंद था रेड कलर. उन्होंने एक पर्टिकुलर शेड ढूंढा जो उस पर किया गया.
Sitting into the Triumph is difficult, but when you drive it, it's a big pleasure. You really, I really love to hold the steering wheel, and when I see people braking around the car, coming back, asking so many questions, sometimes it's irritation, but most of the time I appreciate its love.
It is said that the Triumph Spitfire, or the bomb as it was called during prototyping, Triumph hit a rough patch financially, and that's when it was procured by Leyland and the Spitfire was forgotten. In fact, it was only after a few years when a Triumph engineer saw the prototype under a tarp and took it to Leyland, showing it to them and saying this is something we could do. All we have to say is thank God that man found the car that day, because otherwise the world would have been devoid of this icon. On that note, we're going to be ending today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please hit like, share the video and subscribe. We hope to get you new content very soon. And as for the good news at the end of this, it's my turn to drive.